No matter where people are from, everyone looks for the same qualities in their leaders. A mix of physical and mental features compel us to follow certain individuals, no matter how deceitful or nasty they may be. This applies to voters in modern democracies as much as it does the townsfolk in Game of Thrones. Similar to how we say someone can look or act presidential, some people have a kingly demeanor while others don't. I know families in Westeros are obligated to fight for certain houses, just like most people in the US vote among party lines, but that doesn't mean we can't be persuaded to follow someone new.
The Lannisters send their regards.
Our systems of government are clearly different, but the same factors influence how we pick our leaders. Having a sense of charisma and being labeled something different compared to the political establishment are powerful tools to win the public's affection. During Robert's rebellion, the realm was initially split in the Targaryens' favor, but once Robert killed Rhaegar, the charming, kind prince everyone preferred over the Mad King, the tide shifted in the young, energetic lord's favor. As a challenger attempting to take the throne for himself, Robert promised that he would fix things once and for all. The promise of something new captured people's attention, but over time it became obvious he didn't change too much. Sure, he wasn't burning people alive like his predecessor, which is definitely a plus, but he kept many of Aerys' advisors at the table, stifling the potential for new ideas and younger houses to gain prominence. All that mattered to people was the image of Robert as a strong and kind king. Even though people were struggling across Westeros, Robert remained beloved until his death because he maintained a sense of stability and a charismatic image that blinded the public from how dark he truly was.
I've got 7 kingdoms to rule. 1 king, 7 kingdoms. Do you think honor keeps them in line? Do you think it's honor that's keeping the peace? It's fear. Fear and blood.
Equally influential is having strong name recognition. Daenerys and Trump both gained a lot of early advantages, primarily through their name, a factor that often ends up distracting the public from some of the candidates' rougher qualities. Everywhere they go, their banners are put on display to attract more people to their side. Just like Trump made waves with his simple promise to drain the swamp, Dany has similar intentions.
I'm not going to stop the wheel. I'm going to break the wheel.
Neither of them discuss the steps to accomplish those long-term goals with the public because their fans have more faith in names than plans. Sometimes a leader's name is so powerful, they can keep their base electrified even when they explicitly break their promises.
Well, it wasn't very stupid, I can tell you that.
That's all, folks.
It wasn't very stupid, I can tell you that.
One of the strangest predictors of who will be elected president relates to the height of the candidates. Out of the 56 US presidential elections, 28 of them have been won by the taller candidate. Forget Republicans v. Democrats. Democracy is split between tall and short people. And if Randy Newman has taught me anything, it's that
Short people got no reason to live.
So they're also less likely to be respected. That's certainly true for Tyrion Lannister, who despite being a smart man and a capable leader, is widely disrespected and called a monster. Even when he devised a plan that literally saved King's Landing from invading forces, his father, the taller and more famous of the two, received most of the praise for the victory. If we ranked all the remaining players based on height alone, it's likely Stannis, Jon, or Littlefinger will end up on top. While Dany is a solid leader with a massive army, her small stature impacts how people view her. It's only when Dany reveals her ruthlessness do non-believers take her seriously. When she receives her unsullied army, the slaver constantly talks down to Dany because he thinks her physical characteristics correlate with a lack of strength. Well, he quickly learns that just because someone appears to have
low stamina
doesn't mean they're not a threat.
No reason to live.
Another masculine trait people associate with leadership abilities is a hard face. Ulrich Mueller and Alan Mazur conducted a study in the 90s that determined a correlation between how domineering a cadet's face was during their time at West Point and how many future promotions they received in the military. Applying this same logic to Westeros, it makes sense that people like Tywin Lannister and Stannis Baratheon have risen so high. One's physical appearance and abilities are larger determinant factors than many people may realize. When FDR was first running for president, he went out of his way to hide his polio. even staging moments where he waddled up to podiums alone before leaning all of his weight on them to deliver a speech. Similarly, Prince Doran suffers from an illness that keeps him constrained to a wheelchair most of the time. As a result of that, a lot of people look at him as weak and incapable of reasserting Doran's position of power. His true asset is his sharp mind and ability to develop long-term strategies. He even calls himself the grass that hides the viper to his relatives to assure them that he is not to be underestimated. No matter how sharp a leader's mind may be, if they're perceived as weak, there will always be a target on their back.
And weak men will never rule Dorne again.
While most of Sigmund Freud's theories have been discredited, some of his thoughts on group psychology still hold up. He calls groups impulsive, open to influence, and unable to tolerate delay between wanting something and getting it. Just think about how quickly everyone jumps on board with declaring Jon Snow King of the North. Sure, Jon is brave and honorable, but he's not necessarily the best leader. He nearly lost the North during the Battle of the Bastards due to his brash thinking and sense of urgency. If it wasn't for Sansa and Littlefinger's forces waiting in the wings, Jon, the Wildlings, and their allies would have been crushed by Ramsay. Jon was reckless and unwilling to heed Sansa's advice, and yet the houses of the North still declared him king. That falls in line with Freud's statement that a group's agreement with reality is never checked by any reasonable function, because even though they saw where Jon's thinking almost got them, they still clamored to his side. While he may be suited to lead the battle against the White Walkers, that doesn't make him fit to be king. But once one person declared him worthy, everyone else fell in line with the group and bought into his image.
And I will stand behind Jon Snow. The king in the north! The king in the north!
Clearly, there are other factors involved in determining who actually ends up leading a country, like money and manpower, but those things can only prop someone up for so long. Without the consistent support of a solid base of people, a leader will quickly find themselves with the short end of the stick. Just because someone may be the best person for the job doesn't mean people want them to lead. Be wary of those who attract groups to their side based on the power of their name or charisma alone, because once you get a closer look, you might realize how little weight their words really hold.
This sounds like a shucky-ducky kind of crowd on a shucky-ducky kind of day, here to support an shucky-ducky kind of candidate.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I normally don't say anything after my videos, but it's been about a year since I released my first video on the Joker at last year's San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm getting ready to go back down there next week, so I just wanted to thank all of you guys for your support. I really love making these videos, and I hope you guys enjoy watching them, so if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because I got a lot of big ideas and changes coming to this channel in the next coming months, so yeah, thank you guys again, and I will see you guys next time.